This grass has not been mowed in 1 month, and I'm going to show you how to do this as well. We're going to apply some chemical to this yard. I'm going to walk you through that step-by-step process so that you can have results like this and save time and money. Hey, I'm Dr. Tom Warren, and you're watching The Plant Doctor. And on this episode, I'm going to show you how to get these results and only mow once a month. Let's get started. So we're going to be putting out a plant growth regulator known as T-Nex. And so what T-Nex does is it's going to suppress vegetative growth vertically. It encourages rhizome and stolon development, root development. So those roots, rhizomes, and stolons are going to go deep, they're going to spread. And what that does is create a really thick mat of grass, and you don't have to mow it as often. And when you do mow it, you get less clippings as well. We're going to be putting this out today with this Cobalt 40V Max sprayer. I did a product review on this probably well over a year ago. I'll leave that link up here. Go check that out. I'm not sponsored by Cobalt or Lowe's or anything, but I do love this little spreader. It's great for residential use. So what we need to do is mix our tank, and what I've already done before I got on camera is I pre-mixed a bucket of water and ironite. So I've got 4 ounces of ironite to 1 gallon of water in here. So I've got 16 ounces of ironite in here. There's 4 gallons of water in here. And so what we're going to do is I'm going to take this bucket and I'm going to fill up my sprayer roughly halfway full. The reason I only filled my sprayer halfway full is once I'm halfway done, what I'm going to do is add T-Nex to this tank. So I've got roughly halfway filled up. We're going to put our T-Nex in here. We're going to fill this up, and what that'll do is mix that T-Nex in this tank real good because this is extremely concentrated. We're going to put this out at a rate of 0.25 ounces per 1,000 square feet. I have my sprayer calibrated to where it puts out 1 gallon of water per 1,000 square feet. And if you don't know how to calibrate a sprayer, it's pretty easy. You can put 1 gallon of water in your sprayer, walk back and forth across your yard at a constant rate. Once that water is gone, what you can do is just measure the square footage that you covered, and you know you need to speed up or slow down based off of how many square feet you cover. So if you got a gallon of water in there and you hit 1,000 square feet, you're on the money. If you hit 1,200 square feet, you need to slow down a little bit. If you're at 800 square feet, you need to speed up a little bit. But that's just a rough general idea of how to calibrate a sprayer. So we have our T-Nex here. And like I said, we only need 1 ounce of this. So I've got a measuring cup here. It has 1 ounce on it. That is 1 ounce of product. That little bit of product is enough to do 4,000 square feet. So we're going to put that in our sprayer. And then we're going to fill this up the rest of the way. So we're going to fill our spray up the rest of the way. So now our sprayer's filled up. We can put the lid back on it. And one thing that I want to bring to your attention is this: how do you spray this stuff? It's important that you get extremely equal distribution across the entire area of turf. And so what we want to do is I'm going to change out this nozzle. So this nozzle here is my adjustable nozzle, and it sprays more of a circular pattern. That is not what I want here. We're going to take this nozzle off. And what we're going to do is put on a nozzle that sprays more of a fan pattern, straight line fan pattern. So we're going to put this nozzle on. And when we spray this on the ground, we're not going to be slinging our wand around. The wand's up here, the wand's down here. You're going to hold this wand straight out in front of you at knee height and just walk a steady pace. And what we want is a little bit of overlap between passes. So we're going to go down one pass. We're going to see where the moisture is on the grass. We're going to parallel that and just have maybe an inch or so of overlap between the two. We want even distribution of this stuff, and the easiest way to do that is to have that fan nozzle on there and you walk at equal pace. Let's go outside and spray. And so as I mentioned before, what we're going to do, I'm going to keep this nozzle just below knee height, and we're just going to start walking equal pace. straight lines, just like you were mowing grass. And this is all we're going to do, back and forth. So I've got an area over here to my right, your left over here. I'll have to come back and get. I'm not doing cleanups laps with this or anything else. I can see where my moisture line is on the grass. I'm going to turn around and we'll go right back the opposite direction. And you might be asking yourself, how am I going to get back to that area where I missed a second ago? We're just going to go to the right of that and spray again. So now that our yard's sprayed, what I'm going to do, I'm going to let this sit in for about 2 days. The label says you can mow after 4 hours. I'm going to give it 2 days to set in, and I'm going to come back in. I'm going to mow this really close. We're going to stripe it, and I'm going to show you the results on that as well. So let's take a look at that. Let's fast forward 48 hours and we'll take a look. So it's been a little over 48 hours since we put down T-Nex. I mowed this morning. I turned on the irrigation after I mowed. We got some really good stripes in it, despite the fact that I use a 42-inch rotary mower on this yard. This is not a real mower. I want to get down close. You can see how tight the grass blades are. Just really tight, really impressed with T-Nex. There are a few things I want to show you that I need to work on in this yard over here, and it showed up more now that the grass is tightening up. There's irrigation put in this yard last year. We've got one little trench. I'm not even sure if it shows up on film. You can see a trench line. This ground here is maybe a ½ inch lower, a third of an inch lower than surrounding, and it shows up in the turf. But what we can do here is just put some sand in it. There's another place I want to show you in the yard, and we'll go take a look at it. So we have to get in real close here, and I'm not talking about where I weed eated around the valve box for the irrigation controls there. I don't even know if it shows up on film, but in here, it's just a little bit brown, so T-Nex can brown your yard. That's why we put the liquid iron in it, to help negate some of that a little bit. Probably what happened here is I overlapped just a smidge too much, but it's not a big deal. Here in about another 2 or 3 days, you want to even be able to notice that. It maybe shows up a little better right here. See this little brown patch right here? But other than that, it looks fantastic. I'll make sure to leave a link down in the description below if you want to pick up some T-Nex off of Amazon. It'll help us out here just a smidge on the channel. Thank you for your support. Guys, as always, thank you for watching The Plant Doctor. And until next time, happy gardening.